Welcome to Lifetime Athletics, a luxury and health and fitness club that I not only work at, but actively participate in as both a trainee and aspiring athlete. Lifetime brands itself as an athletic country club, offering high-end services from pools to personal training and spa experiences. It's marketed as more than a gym, it's a lifestyle. But this physical culture comes at a cost, over $200 a month. This means access is often limited to upper middle class and able-bodied individuals. I wouldn't normally spend $200 on a gym membership, and I don't. As someone who works as a personal training intern at Lifetime, as you can see here, it's my only access of entry to the gym. My employment is what gives me access to the amenities they have, but it's also a reminder that personal motivation isn't the only way you can get in. It's also through opportunity and privilege and also structure that allows you to have access to such high end and upper class and wealthy luxury lifestyle. To understand my position in this space, I turn to Nixon's coin model of privilege and oppression. On one side of the coin, I hold unearned advantages. I'm able-bodied, straight, and middle class. But on the other hand, I carry oppression as an Asian woman in a facility where whiteness and masculinity dominate the norm. This layered position shapes how I move through the space, sometimes feeling empowered, but often aware of being different. To reflect critically, I use two methods. Ethnography, which means observing behavior, language, and space within the gym, and media discourse analysis, which looks at how Lifetime's branding and messaging shapes our understanding of fitness and belonging. Lifetime athletics is deeply shaped by capitalism, colonialism, and racism. Even if these forces aren't always visible, through capitalism, health becomes a luxury product, something you buy, not something equally accessible. The cost of entry alone filters out many people. Colonial legacies are reflected in what kinds of bodies are celebrated, typically lean, able-bodied, and white. In my analysis of Lifetime's media and advertisements, I found that most promotional content features white, affluent-looking, lean women and men. For example, in the image shown here, we see one black woman playing against two white men, a dynamic that subtly reinforces whiteness as a default and racializes individuals as the exception. Here's another example from Lifetime's advertising for personal training. The woman being trained is already visibly fit, able-bodied, white, and appears financially well off. These images don't just sell fitness, they sell a narrow vision of who belongs in these spaces. These representations, rooted in Eurocentric ideals, are reinforced through branding, staff demographics, and even the layout and design of the facility itself. Meanwhile, systemic racism operates through quiet exclusion. Racialized people may not feel represented or welcomed, even without overt discrimination. This shows how physical culture can subtly reproduce inequality, and why it's critical to ask who feels at home in these spaces and who is made to feel left out of this place. Here's an example of an image of Lifetime advertising its body fat scanners in order to help people lose weight. Lifetime is a space of technological habitus, where machines, data, and metrics shape how we move and what we value. From body scans to wearables, fitness isn't just about tracking anymore, it's also about optimizing and correcting. This reflects biopower, where bodies are regulated by institutions under the guise of health, and through normalization, the idea of what a fit body is becomes not just a goal, but an expectation. It also mirrors the panopticon, first described by Jeremy Bentham. I feel this all the time, the sense that I'm not being watched by cameras, but rather by mirrors and other gym goers, and even my own reflection. I adjust my behavior sometimes by wearing certain clothes and perform fitness because of this invisible gaze. Intersectionality helps me understand that my experience is layered. I benefit from being able-bodied and middle class, but I also feel the effects of being a non-white woman in a space where whiteness and athleticism are normalized. This ties to the human condition, the idea that we live under systems which we don't choose, but often reproduce through daily action. In a space like Lifetime, movement, health, and belonging aren't just individual, they're shaped by the world around us. Even when fitness spaces seem inclusive, exclusion persists. Peers argues that Paralympism reinforces ableist norms by prioritizing performance and control over true inclusion. Similarly, Baskey 2020 notes that mainstream fitness culture neglects those in poverty who lack access to time, gear, or membership. At Lifetime, this is evident. Equipment is designed for able-bodied users with no adaptive options and assuming all bodies should already fit in the space. Something that's important to note is that this is my reflection. It's biased and it's partial. As someone that's a part of this culture, it involves so many of my own opinions and my own thoughts. But reflecting and going off of reflexivity is just so important to understanding how our perspectives shape what we think and our opinions of the world around us. But this analysis really helps me remember that physical culture isn't just about movement, but it's also about meaning and our impact on the society and the communities that we are a part of.